Okay, so now additions. Okay, taking your humanoid mesh as far as you can go. A really good thing to do is check this every once in a while. Okay, you notice how, like, if I make this really small, is it interesting to look at? If I look up here in the thumbnail, is it interesting to look at? Even that small, is it interesting to look at? Does it look good as a thumbnail? Even Z-spheres, you know, when you're developing a drawing and stuff, you develop a thumbnail first. You know, and Z-spheres, if you look at it in here, it looks nice. Okay, good. I would say that's going to be a really good start to a character. But if it looks all jacked up here in the tools, it's not going to interest you enough to finish. Okay, just some tips. Alright, so additions. What else does it need? It has a good pose to start out with. I would say that's going to interest me for a while. But as far as, you know, what happens here, maybe? Does he have hands? I thought it was always creepy to have backwards hands. Like if a creature was coming at you and it had hands and backwards, that's freaking creepy. So maybe not take them so far as hands, but take them as far as, you know, something like this. Scale those down a little bit. And then you got to think, how does this thing move? How does it move across? If it's pushing itself forward, or if it can stand up at all. If it stands up, it's going to have a hard time balancing himself if all his toes are in the back, right? So what would be better? Well, I would say as anatomy goes, you know, this is probably the only thing I'll say, is you got to make it believable that this character can actually move around. Now, again, check profile. Okay, how's that profile look? And again, whole moving of ZBrush things. It's still a little awkward sometimes to move around. Check my profile. Yep. That looks good. So now it has the ability to stand up. I could see that. And in fact, you know, a lot of times I'll clone this. That way I have a backup copy. And, you know, I'll play around with the idea of what happens when this character stands up. What's that look like? And certainly it works out really well. So in the next video, we're going to be looking at putting some detail into it. Because right now it does move around really good. I can get a feel for this. So that's a good way to do it, is just test its posability. Like, that's freaking scary right there. Yeah, definitely. Alright, so I have both versions here. I got kind of a stand-up version and, you know, kind of a crouch position, and it can, so far it's passed my test. So in the next video we'll look at making it a poly mesh and start sculpting on it probably.